Okay, so to multiply fractions, if you had decimals, if you had 53.5 times 1.3, you're going to line it up just as a regular multi-digit multiplication problem. So you're not lining up the decimals, you're lining up the digits. It's different than addition and subtraction of decimals. So if it was 53.5 times 0.13, you would still do 53.5 times 0.13 like this. You don't line up the decimals. Okay, so we're going to take our original problem. 5 times 3 is 15. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 0, 10, 15, 16. Put the 0, cross these out. 5, 3, and 5. We add those together, 5, 5, 9, and 6. And then we figure out how many decimals we go in. 1, 2. 1, 2. So it's 69.55. For division, if we have 7 and then we have 17.5, our first step is to go, how many 7s fit into 1? None. How many 7s fit into 17? 2. And then wherever the decimal is here, you bring it up. So my decimal's here, I keep it there, and then I keep going on my steps. I bring this down, 7 goes into 31 4 times, and it's 28. 31 minus 28 is 3. Then I bring down the 5. 7 goes into 35 5 times. 7 times 5 is 35. So the answer is 2.45. So this is an example when there's no decimal here in the divisor. But then we actually have some problems that do have a decimal there. So for example, if I had 0.6 and 21.24, I can't have a decimal here, so I have to move it over to clear it out. So to clear it out, I only have to go one jump. I could do 2 maybe if it's a different number, but for this one, to clear out the decimal, I just jump 1. So this now just becomes a plain old 6. And then whatever I jump here, I have to jump here. So if I move 1 over to the right in this part, I have to do it here. So then I just rewrite the problem so I don't get confused. And then I do the math as normal. I keep the decimal where it is, and then I just keep going with the math. Suppose there was 0.165. I would need to jump 1, 2, 3. So for here, I'd go 1, 2, 3, and there's nothing here. I would fill it in with the 0, and then my decimal goes here. Always rewrite the problem though, because look at how crazy this looks. You forget where everything is. So then I would say, okay, it's 165 for this part, and then this part becomes 21,240, and the decimal goes here. So in the answer, the decimal would just go straight above. When there's no decimal in this part of the problem, you just bring the decimal up to exactly where it is in the problem. And then, of course, if we have order of operations, we would do PEMDAS first, and then take care of our decimals. So, for example, if I had 5.1 plus 0.3 divided by 7, I would first do this, and then I would take that answer and put it here. So it's 5.4, and then I would do my math. So always PEMDAS, always, always, always. And then we're going to go over one of the questions on page 54 is what is the digit? So we're just going to go over place value while we are doing this section. So if you have, say our decimal is here, this is the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, this would be 10 millions, 100 millions, billions. So it would keep going that way. Here's our decimal. So at the start, this first column is called the tenths. And everything over here has a TH at the end of it. THS. So this is tenths. This is hundredths. This is thousandths. 10,000ths, 100,000ths, millionths, and it keeps going. Same as this, except for there's no such thing as a oneths. Okay, when you are talking about money, so if you had $10.80, then in your answer, would have a dollar sign in it, but you would handle it the same exact way. So for this one, you would write your problem out. This number, whatever it's being divided by, always goes here, and the number that comes first always goes here. So you would write this number first, divided by this number, and then we know the answer would have a dollar sign on it. Okay, so the first step to clear out this is to move it over 2, and anything I do to this side of my division sign, I do to this sign. My problem becomes 135 on this side, and then over here it becomes 1080 point, and then when you're doing your answer, the point would stay right here. Okay, and then I'm just going to go over this. I won't give you any homework for it, but you might have something that looks like this. 4.92 divided by and then in parentheses 0.8 minus 0.12 divided by 0.3. So we're going to put down our PEMDAS. I saw you do that in your homework, which was awesome. I was very happy to see that. And we're going to solve inside the parentheses first. And then we have a subtraction and a division, so we know we always have to do division first. So our first step is going to be rewrite the problem, and then we're solving this piece right here, just this piece. So we're going to do 0.3 goes into 0.12, and then we clear out our decimal. Our decimal goes right above. 3 goes into 12, it's 0.4. So this whole piece right here is 0.4. So I'm just going to write that in. And then the next thing I do in order of PEMDAS, I have the parentheses are cleared for this part, but we still have this in parentheses. So we have to keep the parentheses there until we clear it totally and completely out. So our next step is to solve this part of the parentheses. So it's 4.92 divided by, and then we do 0.8 minus 0.4 is 0.4. So that's what we're dividing this by. Now we have 4.92 divided by 0.4. So we set up that problem. And then we solve. First step is to move this over. Then I have to move this over, and my decimal in my answer goes right here. 4 goes into 4 one time. 4 times 1 is 4. We bring down our 9. 4 goes into 9 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. 1 is left over, and then we bring down our 2. 4 goes into 12 3 times, and you'll notice my first step once I cleared this decimal was to put my decimal right here so that I don't forget to do it. And then 4 times 3 is 12, and then we have a 0. Okay, so that's a 9-minute video or so. Do you does that make sense to you, how you just kind of have to take it one step at a time for PEMDAS?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So your homework is going to be page 47, we just talked about, page 48, 3 to 6.
Wait, do I have to write this down in the...
I'm not writing it down anymore. It's always up to you.
Okay, so page 49, what do we do?
Page 47.
Okay. I circled 2, 3, 6, 7, and 9.
Then page 48, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
3, 4, 5, 6, yeah.
Then 51, we're going to do 2, 6, 8, and 14. Oh, the file did not, my recording did not work, honey.
Hmm?
My recording that I just did,